state building processes following conflict provide an opportunity to build a state that works for women. But what we see is that these opportunities are often missed because donors aren't effectively integrating gender into their support for post-conflict state building. We see that they're not promoting women to participate in negotiations around the form of the post-conflict state, and in their support for institutional reform, they're not taking women's interests fully into account. This means that new institutions are being created that aren't going to work for women in the future. It's really critical that issues of women's rights are addressed in the situation currently underway in Egypt and Tunisia, for example, because these are opportunities to rebuild state institutions, to provide a new constitution, and if women are able to participate at every level of these processes, then these could result in states that deliver better for women. On the other hand, if women are excluded or marginalized, what we're going to end up is women's exclusion being written into the form of the state. European donors need to support women's civil society in these post-conflict contexts. They need to provide support for women to come together, to develop a policy agenda, and for women to participate at every level of the political process that follows conflict. Fride's recent research project looked at post-conflict state building in 5 countries, and what we found was that across these countries, it was at the highest levels of political negotiation that women found it hardest to enter. And that where there was reform of security and legal institutions, although new rights were given for women, in many cases women couldn't really access these rights because of discrimination, barriers related to poverty and exclusion and so on. And these barriers need to be addressed for women's rights to be made real.